Shalom everyone, welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. This is installment number 2 of my series on marital problems, and this is one that's not for the kiddies. So grown-ups, if there's kids nearby with an earshot or eye shot, get them out, send them off to play, whatever. Women, if you're easily offended, choose not to watch. Don't watch and then get mad afterwards and write me something, angry or nasty in the comments. I'm warning you right now. If you get offended easily, don't watch. Women can watch, but this is mostly for men. But I think it's an important message for women too. What is prompting me to do this really controversial, hardcore head-on video about marital problems, a second edition? Oh, it's because of Tiger Woods being with 9 women, unfaithful to his wife, senators, governors, political officials, religious leaders falling into sexual temptation and sin. In my hometown, just this past week, after a $1 million, church facility was built, this pastor had to get up in front of his congregation and admit he's committed adultery. And in that particular denomination, there is no forgiveness, no reprisal. Your religious experience, your ministry is through, and your family is through. And he almost committed suicide. He tried to kill himself the other day because of this. It's a serious problem. I'd say that 90 to 99% of all guys deal with sexual problems, such as adultery, fornication, pornography, what have you. Why? Well, because we are hardwired for sex. The way a guy shows his love and expresses his love is through the physical act of sex. And that's how he hooks up to his wife emotionally. And his wife is more emotional than physical. That's just the way God made us. Read Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And Mars and Venus in the Bedroom. Great books. It's not a Christian or a Jewish book, but it's true and it's great. And I don't usually endorse secular books. But that'll kind of explain all that for you. And because we are fallen in nature due to the fall of Adam and Eve, these sexual desires that are meant for the confines of a holy marital relationship between a husband and a wife, it's a very holy act. It's not just a physical feel-good act, saying, hey, this is just the icing on the cake to marriage. No, sex is spiritual because it connects you emotionally with the other person. You become one, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. That's why sexual sin is such a dastardly sin, because it's a sin against one's own body and one's own spirit. Okay, not going to get into that. I got a specific time limit here. So, what if I'm speaking to you and you're having these problems? Because see, a couple that me and my wife know, they're getting divorced. One of these couples you never think would get divorced, and it's suspected that he's fallen into either pornography or adultery. Don't know, don't really want to get into the details of that. But it hits home. And if it wasn't for the grace of God, all of us men would be susceptible to that and could easily fall into something like that. We're not above that. But it's maintaining a close relationship, honest, open relationship with your spouse. Your spouse is supposed to be your best friend that you can open up and tell anything to. And Satan wants to divide and conquer, and first he sets you apart emotionally, then he sets you apart physically, and boom. That's when he strikes. So, men, what if you're in the situation I'm talking about? You go to your wife. But, yeah, I know you're scared. I know it's tough. But you know what? Be honest. Say, honey, I really need to sit down and talk to you, and I'm just scared to death. I love you so much, but I'm having this problem with sex. See, it's not back in the days where you put on dark glasses and a trench coat and sneak off in the night to one of these sex shops to watch a video or get a magazine, or to get a P.O. box and get one of these pornography magazines discreetly enclosed in the mail. No, you can get it online. It's right at your fingertips, and you can keep it as secret as you like. So guys, you need to say, look, honey, it's not that you're not beautiful, it's not that I don't love you. But you know what? Sometimes during the course of a month, you're naturally unavailable to me. Sometimes you go off on business trips, or you go and visit family, or sometimes we're apart for some reason, or I go off on business trips, whatever. And the temptation's there. Maybe I can't sleep and I'm up and I'm just, messing around on the internet, and all of a sudden my mind goes there and I find myself at one of these sites. Is she gonna be devastated? Yes, probably. But guys, grow a backbone. and face this head on and just say, hey, look, I need your help. I don't want to be addicted to this. I don't want to be susceptible to this. You know what? She'll be mad at you. She'll probably cry and be devastated. She may not even talk to you for a week, may even threaten of divorce. But you know what? You gotta face it. You can't keep it a secret forever or it'll eat you alive. And you know what? It's not just, that men are built to be unfaithful. They're not. They're built to be faithful. It's just with our fallen nature, it makes us more easily susceptible. Because you know what? Sex is a drug. It's an addiction. There's been brain scans of people who's been addicted to sex, and brain scans with people who's addicted to heroin. The brain scans are almost identical because it deals with the same chemicals and the same releasing of chemicals in the brain, the feel-good chemicals and the addictive type chemicals, endorphins and whatever. So it's an addiction problem. And I've had men come to me in tears, bawling their eyes out, crying because they feel so nasty, so dirty, so guilty, because they've looked at pornography online or gotten a magazine or whatever. Maybe they didn't jump in bed with a woman, but mentally they have. And Yeshua said if you've committed adultery in your heart, looking on a woman and lusting after is committing adultery in your heart, even though you haven't committed the physical act. So once you tackle this with your wife, and if you have to get counseling, find a preacher, find a pastor, find a rabbi, find a professional, get help. Not only for your addiction, but also for your marriage, to save it. It's bad enough when marriages break up and it's just a couple, but when kids are involved, it's 100 times worse. Do whatever it takes to save your marriage. Then surround yourself with good, godly friends that you can be accountable to, who have the same issues and same problems. And they'll ask you each day or once a week saying, hey, how goes the battle? Did you fall today? Did you fall today? Did you fall this week? And when you have to answer to somebody, your friends and your wife, when they know about your issues, you're less likely to get on the computer or to do these type of things, to fall into that sin. It helps you. It keeps you strong. You know what? And people make fun of Orthodox Judaism because we're so strict. Opposite sex, unless they are relatives, like brother, sister, or man and wife, or, like an elderly grandmother. The opposite sex is not in the room by themselves, ever. And I agree with that policy. Because you know what? You should be above even people speculating something bad like that. You're in the synagogue, you're in the church, and it's fellowship time, and a sister in the Lord wants to come up to you and give you a hug. You do the sideways thing, not the face-on thing. Sideways thing, so nobody can accuse or even speculate about anything. If you are in a leadership position or in a pastoral type position, rabbinical position, and you're counseling women, you better make sure your wife is there or you don't counsel women at all, period. Tell them to go somewhere else, get help somewhere else. You can't help them. And not only that, but when you're counseling, make sure the door is open. Not so everybody can hear, but so if somebody walks by, they'll know exactly what's going on. They can't accuse you of nothing. Okay? I mean, this is serious. When you're at work, don't talk about personal stuff to your female coworkers, opposite sex coworkers. It's none of their business. Because the first way you fall is emotionally. You start, making yourself emotionally vulnerable to this person. They care, they understand, they have advice. And you start falling for them emotionally. And then physically is not shortly after that. And that's where a lot of adulterous relationship happen, is in the workplace. You don't go to lunch with the opposite sex by yourself. It's okay to go, in a group setting, have a few guys, have a few girls from work, and go out to lunch, and then go back to work. That's fine. You've got other, it's mixed company. That's fine. By yourself, out of the question. No way, no how. Okay? You got to protect yourself. Don't be stupid. Oh, well, you're just being prude. No, I'm being cautious. Because I know human nature. And I know how things go. And why are you going to open up yourself to that temptation? I mean, if you're pumping gas at a gas station, are you going to be stupid enough to light up a cigarette? Oh, well, No, it's just dumb. It's explosive. Same sexually, the same way. You're flammable. And you go around a woman who's a flame, disaster. Don't put yourself in that position. Burn those bridges so you don't even have the opportunity to go across. Put all the safety things on your computer so you don't go there. There's software to keep all that porn stuff out. Passwords that you can give to that your wife only knows to keep you from these sites if you have a problem in that area. Do whatever it takes, folks. Look, I'm running out of time here. So shalom, shavua tov, love you guys. Bye.